Hi everyone, it's Ray here from City Fan TV, and we are here for an FA Cup final preview special. I think we're still in the 2020 FA Cup, or 2019-2020 FA Cups, even though it's in the next season, but we'll talk about that during the show. And I'm joined by one Everton fan, which is Peter. I'll say hi to Peter. And obviously most of you City fans know Jayne and Jennie already. Hi guys, hope you're well.
Hi.
What we'll do to start with, I'll let everybody do a brief introduction for themselves. So since this is Jayne's first time on the show, we will invite Jayne to tell us a little bit about herself and what she does.
So my name is Jayne. I am the branch secretary of the Manchester City Women Official Supporters Club. I've been a City fan my whole life, so men really got into the women kind of around 2014 when the rebrand happened into Manchester City Women. And I've been an avid supporter ever since.
Fantastic. We'll move on to Jennie.
Yeah, I'm Jennie. I do obviously my bits for City Fan TV, member of the Supporters Club. Supported City men and women, but the women mainly since about 2014.
I'll move Peter.
Yeah, hi, my name's Peter. I'm a huge Evertonian. I've actually had a season ticket at Goodison Park for 23 years. But obviously I followed the women's team hugely as well. I'm a member of the official Everton Women's Supporters Club as well. And I'm just looking forward to Sunday, to be honest.
I'm really glad your audio picked up there, Peter, because I thought I'll be talking to three women otherwise. Your audio's picked up for me anyway. I've got to get some cracks in because we might lose on Sunday, so I'll get me jokes in early. I'm going to start off by talking about Wembley because I know from a men's point of view, City, we're regulars there. You go down to one of the pubs and they say, "Your usual, sir." City men's have been there so many times, but it's a new and wonderful thing for the women's team to go. So I'm going to start off by asking Jennie, because I know she went down to see the women play at Wembley quite recently. I think that was your first time. So can you tell us a little bit about that special trip to Wembley, Jennie?
Yeah, it was something that I'd wanted to tick off my bucket list for a while, and I got the chance to go in 2018-19. Yeah, we played West Ham. It was an amazing day. The bus was buzzing all the way down to Wembley. We had some games on the coach, and then obviously we had a bit of time when we got there. We had a walk up the walkway and had a look round the sort of famous stadium, and I got me air horn took off me that I'd bought on the way down.
You're a hooligan, Jennie. You're a hooligan.
Yeah. Well, one of the guys on the coach, his daughter had got one as well, so he took them back and left them at the coach. So I've still got it, but it was good. It was a really good day, and obviously the result made it even more special. And the team came across and sort of celebrated with us after they'd been awarded with the cup, and it was just it was a carnival atmosphere. And then obviously the coach very happy coming back, not much sleeping.
What about you, Jayne? How many times have you been to Wembley to see the women play?
So to see the women, I've been twice. So the 2017 Cup final and the 2019 Cup final. I've been quite a few other times with City with the men's team as well when we've managed to get down there. We've had some great trips. But for those two games for the women, like Jennie said, it's such a brilliant atmosphere. Everybody was always has been really up for it, really excited. The supporters club got some coaches, and we were all, so it's nice to be all together, and there's people that you know on the coach, so you can have a good sing song and a bit of a laugh. And we all did like a group booking as well, so everyone was sat together in the stadium. And like Jennie said, great games, really enjoyable. The one thing that I love about Wembley, when you win and you come outside and the arch is lit up in the nice sky blue colour, I never tire of that sight.
Fantastic. And Peter, I've got to ask you, I think you're a bit too young to remember the 88-89 Everton FA Cup victory. Have you been to Wembley to see the women play there?
first time, which is a massive shame. I've been down to see the men play there a few times with varying results, not necessarily great results, to be honest with you. So my memories of Wembley tend to be great up until kickoff. And then afterwards, not so great. But no, it is such a great occasion and such a fantastic stadium and everything surrounding it. It's such a huge honour for the players, and it's a massive thing. I'm just absolutely devastated we can't all be there, to be honest with you. I know a lot of Everton fans, to be honest, who maybe wouldn't have normally gone to watch our women's team, who definitely would have gone. Who absolutely would have 100% gone this Sunday, and it's just such a huge shame. I feel like there's a lot of momentum picking up now with the support for our women's team, and it's just so unfortunate that with everything going on, we haven't really been able to capitalise on that. So
yeah, and I'm hoping that the way the clubs are pushing this Wembley final, that will help each club as well to attract new fans. And that's actually my next question, just to ask you guys, how are the clubs treating supporters as well? Because obviously Jayne, representing the official supporters club, got to big them up because I'm sure Everton are the same with their supporters club, but the City one are absolutely fantastic. I hope you don't blush from all the plaudits I throw your way, guys. But it is absolutely fantastic the way you guys, help us. Basically, you sort us out. Coaches and a lot of good fun as well, and all the stuff you're doing behind the scenes. The Zoom stuff we're doing. We're having a Zoom watch along on Sunday. And all the hard work behind the scenes that most of us don't even notice. So I've got to say massive thanks to you and the little badges you do and all the competitions. It's absolutely fantastic. So get me thanks in first, and then ask Jayne, what are the supporters club doing and what are the Man City FC doing to promote this and the pick-up final?
So like you say, the supporters club, we've got a watch along meeting that we're having. It just, I think, gives people the opportunity to, rather than sitting at home and having to watch it on your own, you can talk to other people, you can chat about. So it's just kind of having all those people around you at the watch along and being able to watch it together as kind of a group. And we've got some nice little giveaways. So we do like a little halftime draw with a little raffle prize for the members as a little thank you for coming on. And like you say, we've got some nice little FA Cup badges and things for sale just for people to have a little bit of a memento for the game, because it's kind of like you say, if we were all going down to Wembley, everybody would be looking at buying scarves and like, Jennie with her air horn the other year that she bought, things like that, where you kind of commemorate the day. So we're kind of just producing a few little bits like that so that people can have the opportunity to have something to kind of remember the occasion.
Yeah. Have the club done anything special? I expect you to be more aware of it than me.
The club have been doing a few things this week in the lead up, and they've got a We're Not Really Here show on City TV before the game. And I know they've been interviewing a few people. I think it's been announced today that they've managed to get Carly Lloyd as one of the guests on the We're Not Really Here show, which is, absolutely amazing. And as you know, she played and won at Wembley in an FA Cup final for City, scored a goal as well. So to have her as a guest on there, the club are trying to kind of big it up and to a worldwide audience as well, because obviously having the new American signings, there's a lot of interest from the States at the moment, kind of in the WSL and in women's football over here. So I think kind of trying to not just appeal to people in this country, but to appeal to people worldwide.
Yeah, I do believe that this is the first time that the FA Cup women's FA Cup final is available outside of these shores. So I think it's the first time I saw that on the FA website today. Just going to ask last thing, Jayne. Jude Morris-King, did she do something special this week?
Oh, she was on the radio this week, Jude, wasn't she? She was on Women's Hour on Radio 4. Kind of talking about the game and talking about the occasion this weekend. And so I think you can catch that on the BBC Sounds app.
Yeah.
If anybody's interested in having a listen. So it was a really good listen. She did a really good job.
Fantastic. Just got to, bigger up as well, Jude Morris King. Jennie. I mean, yeah, look, I've not done been party to any of the Zoom watch-alongs because I've been living in France the last couple of months, and it's no good having a 2-minute delay while everybody's watching on Zoom, jumping up and down, and you're trying to watch and cover your ears. It's not. I just know it's not going to work. So you've been you've been along or taken part in these watch-alongs. What's it like? What's the atmosphere like?
Yeah, it's good because, like Jayne says, you've got somebody to talk to. Normally, I'd be sat at home on my own if I couldn't get to the games. So it's just nice to have a bit of that camaraderie, and it's the same as if we were really there, although it's not the same. But you can celebrate together or commiserate together, whichever it might be. But yeah, it's really good. And I won the raffle prize, the last one.
I'm going to ask you, Jennie, are you on the beers already tonight? I see you supping away. Are you on the beers?
No, it's just a coffee. It's just my thermos.
Move on to Peter. I mean, look, Peter, Everton. Look, you haven't been in, if I remember correctly, an FA Cup final for it's about 10 years now, isn't it? No, sorry, 6 years. You lost it about 6 years ago, and you won it 10 years ago. So what have Everton been doing, if you know what the supporters club have been doing and what the club itself have been doing?
It's been a really busy week, to be honest with you. Julie Macon, who's the head of the Everton Women's Supporters Club, it was officially announced this week that we are now officially affiliated with Everton, which has been a massive step. It's been absolutely fantastic. So Julie's been really busy going around doing interviews with everyone. She's really shy, Julie, as well. She doesn't like talking in public, but she hasn't stopped all week. So I think you'll have to get her on at some point. But it's been fantastic. I mean, the club really have got right behind the women's team, and it's great to see. We had a video call with the supporters club and 3 of the players, so Meg Finnegan, Dan Turner, and Shani Boyflorcha. So that was on Wednesday evening. It was great. About an hour and a half. We were all on Zoom having a nice chat, and we had fans from Malaysia, from Holland, from America. All over the place who were involved in that call. The club also contacted us to put our messages of support to the players, which they then put together into a nice, sort of montage of a video which they've shown the players, which is really nice. Tim Cahill is a good friend of Hayley Razzo, so there was a joint interview with those two, which is great because of the Australian support that now brings. And then we had Carlo Ancelotti and Willie Kirk doing a joint interview, which I thought was a nice touch as well. It was just to really sort of galvanise the club. And Carlo Ancelotti was giving Willie a bit of advice on how he'd get take the final, having won the FA Cup previously. So yeah, it's been a really great time to be honest at Everton Football Club, and it's just fantastic to see the club are really getting behind the women's team now, and it's great to see the response from the fans as well. As I say, I go home and away with the men's team, and I go to watch the women as well. And I've always stressed about the fact that I just support whoever's wearing that badge. Do you know what I mean? I don't see a difference between the men's team and the women's team. They're just Everton. You know what I mean? So it's great to see that other fans are now sort of taking that on board, and starting to show real interest. And I'm actually glad for the fans, to be honest with you, because the football that we're playing is superb. So if you don't go to watch it, you're missing out. Yeah,
I mean, both Everton's men's and women's team are right up there at the top of their respective tables. And I've been obviously following you and a few of the Everton fans on Twitter, on social media, and obviously the Everton Sports Club. So I see the stuff that the club are sending out as well, and I think it's fantastic. I mean, I watched that Carlo Ancelotti in chat with Willie Kirk, and I think that kind of stuff is brilliant, absolutely fantastic. And obviously City's what would you call it? Not the marketing department, fans department, or whatever they call it. I mean, they've got fans to send in their videos as well. So I think they're going to be played to the players as well. Is it before the game? I'm not sure how that is.
I think the plan is before the game, and I think also they asked fans to write messages that they're going to kind of decorate the changing room wall with as well.
Yeah.
So the players can at least feel everyone's presence there.
Absolutely. I'm too shy to do videos like that, so I'll in the background. Guys, we're going to look. This is going to hopefully be positive for everybody. So we're going to move on to another positive thing, talking about the semi-final of the FA Cup, because obviously our respective teams won those games to get us to the final. So I'm going to start with Jayne again, just to tell us a little bit about this semi-final against, I've got to remember, Arsenal. We won, I think, was it 2-1? Can you tell us a little bit about that game?
City absolutely came out on fire that night. I think it's probably our best performance of the season so far. From the very first minute, the tempo was high, the passing was good. It was kind of really, really enjoyable football to watch as well. And they were on top from kind of start to finish of that game. So I think we were possibly the underdogs going into the game. I think Arsenal had started the season absolutely scoring for fun every game, hat-tricks here and there. So I think we were probably the underdogs going into that. I think there were a few City fans who were a little bit worried that we wouldn't be able to do it. But on the night, the players really stepped up to the occasion and came out fighting for it from start to finish.
Yeah. What did you think of the game, Jennie?
Yeah, I agree with Jayne. It was probably our best performance of the season so far. I think Arsenal were just blown away by him in the first sort of 20 minutes. And luckily for us, we held on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my personal view was the first half was the best half of football I've seen from the men or women's this season. I mean, it was an incredible display. And I was worried before we went into Arsenal because our form had been a bit up and down. I think I don't think it'd been very good at all. And then it just showed what we can really do. Second half, I think we had to hang on a bit because Arsenal are a good team. Arsenal came back at us, but I think obviously we'd done enough in that first half to steer us through the second half as well. But it was a fabulous game of football, and that's what it was. It's not a game of women's football. It was a fabulous game of football, period. And what about you, Peter? You guys managed to get through as well.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, our best performance of the season came in the round before in the quarter-final against Chelsea.
Yeah.
And going into the semi-final, there's always the potential there for a banana skin after you get such a fantastic result of getting such a high of coming from behind to then beat Chelsea. You look at the Birmingham fixture and you think, and we were playing so well in the league, and you look at it, and all of a sudden, it's not as straightforward as you think. You can sometimes take your eye off the ball a bit, but thankfully the team didn't, and we came out the traps early, and Simone McGill settled us down with a great goal. Nico got a second, and then towards the end, Valerie Gorvan got her goal as well. So it's been it was. As I say, it was a potential banana skin for us. That, to be honest, I've seen it happen before with the men's team. Where we've gone out and got a great result, and then we play against a team who you would, with respect, expect to beat, and we haven't done so. So yes, it showed great character from the players, and as I say, it's just that to go into that game with the extra pressure of knowing that winning it would get them to Wembley. It was just great to see the players step up. And obviously Birmingham are a team in transition at the moment with their new manager, so they were a slightly unknown at the time, and they seem to have settled since that game as well. So they've shown their quality. So yeah, I think on reflection, it was a great performance and a great result, and we're just happy to be in the final on Sunday.
Yeah, that quarterfinal against Chelsea, that win was something else. Chelsea. Obviously won the FAWSL last season and started pretty well this season as well. So for you guys to come out on top, that takes some doing. I'm going to ask you about the last time these two teams met, which wasn't too long ago. It was in the Conti Cup. Now, I will say up front, City won. That's the only negative thing for Everton on the show today. City won, but I think Everton did rest a few players, Peter. But do you see that match and the performance and the result as having any effects to the game on Sunday?
To be honest, I mean, I don't need to be disrespectful to the Conti Cup or to City. They were the best team on the night and fully deserved to win. But I think in terms of our priorities, I think the Conti Cup will probably be very low on the list of priorities. And like you say, we did rest a few players with respect to the players who came in as well. I thought the players who came in, the likes of Poppy Pattinson, they've performed well when they've come in. But yeah, I don't think we're going to be too concerned about that fixture when it comes to this final. It's a totally different sort of ball game, if you like. It's a totally different occasion. I feel like, you know, when we're going into this game, we're going to be playing our full strength side. The players are going to be, you know, totally, you know, up for the occasion. And also, when we played during the Conti Cup, we've had a lot of fixtures in a very short period of time. This game, we've had a little bit of time to recover and to really sort of concentrate on it. So, yeah, we've got another Conti Cup game. I think it's next week, isn't it? Against United, and I could probably see us resting a load of players for that as well. So, yeah, I think we're playing our cards close to our chest, to be honest with you, with that one. I don't think we're going to be too concerned.
I don't care how many players you rest, as long as you beat United. That's all that matters. As long as you beat them. What am I going to talk about next? Chloe Kelly. I mean, obviously she's played for each team. I'll start with Jayne. You know, Chloe's only been here a couple of months, hasn't she? How did she started her life at City, Jayne?
I think she's been absolutely outstanding. She's come into the team. She was probably the lowest key signing of ours over the summer. You know, we made some big signings, and she's probably the one that went under the radar probably more than the rest. I mean, not to Everton and City fans, because kind of they know what she's about and what to expect. But I think to the rest of the country, she was probably the more unknown. But she's come in and she looks like she has played with those players and for that team for years. She is fearless. She is, you know, absolutely brilliant. She's so good to watch. You watch her and you think something exciting is going to happen when she gets the ball, and she kind of, you know, makes these great runs, you know, scores outstanding goals. She's a really, really good young player and a great young prospect.
Yeah. Do you want to add something to that as well, Jennie?
No, again, I agree. She's really hit the ground running when she does look like she's been part of the team for a long time.
Fantastic. And Peter, obviously, you must be a little bit sad to lose some of the talent of Chloe Kelly.
Absolutely. I mean, Chloe's the sort of player where you only have to look at her for 2 minutes on a pitch and you know that she's got class. She's that sort of player. She's got she's got great balance. She's got great skill. She's got a great touch. She's confident. She's on her toes. She's got every possible attribute you want in a footballer. She really is. You know, I personally believe she's going to go right to the top of the game. I think she's that good. She's such a great footballer. You know, we were privileged to have seen her play at Everton for a few seasons and watch her develop. You know, and I'm delighted for her in a sense, because I know that she wanted to play in the Champions League. As it happens now, what's happened is that we've sort of our whole dynamic within our side has changed since Chloe's gone. When she's gone to City, obviously there are big names throughout the side, and you know the team won't necessarily be based all around her. Whereas I think that we were possibly a little bit too reliant on it. But what's happened now is actually we've managed to get a system in place which plays to a lot of players' strengths. So we're not just too reliant on one player. So, as gutted as I am to see her leave, it's, you know, we've moved on. We've managed to sort of get over that and to bring some top quality in as well. But I mean, I don't know anyone who wouldn't want to wish Chloe Kelly the best of luck, because she really is that good, and she's a great person as well. You know, yeah. She always had a lot of time for the Everton fans, still does. So yeah, nothing but respect for her.
Yeah, and I'll stick with you, Peter. I'm going to ask you about the start of the season, because you guys, you know, you're almost looking down on everybody. There's only Arsenal above Everton, and you know, you could argue that Everton are a little bit higher than I think most people would have expected, sitting in second place. You've only let in 3 goals, scored 16 goals. I mean, you know, that's a pretty good record. So, I mean, what do you put this fantastic start to the season down to?
Well, I think it's the blend of. If you go back to 2 seasons ago when we sort of barely stayed up, to be honest, we had a lot of players who were developing in that side, and there was a lot of sort of we had a decent squad, if you know what I mean, but we didn't necessarily have the best team, if that makes sense. Yeah. So we had decent sort of squad players who you'd probably think would do an all right job, but we didn't really galvanise as a team. But since Willie Kirk's come in, he's brought in his own players. He's totally revolutionised the whole outlook of the team, to be honest with you. But it's been a process over 2 seasons. This isn't just we've made a couple of signs in the summer and all of a sudden we're playing well. You've seen this progress over the last 2 or 3 years. I think the signs we've made have been huge. They've made a great impact. It's just meant that Willie Kirk's been able to play the system and the style that he's wanted to from the start. Which has then complemented some of the players that we already had. So the likes of Simone McGill. All of a sudden, Simone is is a focal point where, and someone who we're playing to her strengths rather than her trying to fit into a system. The system we're playing suits her. We've brought Valerie Gorvan in, who's just a threat anytime she's on the pitch. Hayley Razzo as well. She's added another little element because of her pace. We tended to be too reliant on individuals, whereas now our entire team seems to be working and gelling together. It wasn't just Chloe that we lost in the summer as well. Nesta Cagman, a lot of our play we used to go through her, so she was a big miss, a big loss when we let her go. But thankfully, again, we've been able to bring in real quality, and by doing so, we've been able to progress.
Yeah, I'll move on to Jennie this time and ask. City, we I wouldn't say languishing, but we're down in 5th in the table. It's a small league. There's only 22 games. We played 5 and we sat in with 8 points, already 7 points behind Arsenal. And 5 behind Everton, and with 2 behind Chelsea. We've got a game in hand. So how do you think we've started overall in the league this season, Jennie?
Yeah, I think there's been a couple of games where we've just not looked at our best. I don't know if it's because we've been playing games sort of thick and fast and there's not been that recovery time, or whether it's just I don't know whether the crowd is what's making a difference as well, because as you know, we all sort of sing, we make a lot of noise, and that sometimes spurs the players on. So that might not be helping either. But there again, it's not helping any other club. So until we can go back, they need to find a way of getting past that. But yeah, they're not scoring as many goals as we know they're capable of. I think Chloe Kelly's the top goal scorer, but Ellen White's looked like she's struggled to get any goals. She's got a couple, and I don't think Lucy Bronze has actually looked herself at the minute. I don't know whether it's the change from leaving Lyon, being at Lyon, to coming back to City. I really don't know, but we are struggling to get any points. We got the draw with Brighton, which was disappointing, because again we'd made the chances, but we just didn't take them. There doesn't seem to be anything once you get past that into that final third.
Yeah. What do you think, Jayne? I mean, we've had 2 draws against. The Brighton one obviously was, I think, quite disappointing. And then we drew against Reading, who are a decent side. So let's not knock them. But what do you think has been the cause of City's stuttering start to the league season?
It's hard to say, really. I mean, like Jennie says, we have struggled to score as many goals as we would have liked. From our play, you can watch the play and you think, there should be more goals coming in the game. We should have taken more chances. So maybe just being a bit more clinical in front of goal. I think, regardless of the players that we've signed, and yeah, do you know what? They're absolutely top class signings. It still takes a bit of time to kind of bed yourself into a new league and to bed yourself into a new team. And it's not only a change of team for a lot of players, it's a whole change of culture, for those players who are coming over from the States and things like that. So it does still take that little bit of time to bed in, but I think it's about being more clinical in front of goals. I think we've got the capability and we've created a lot of chances and we've still had a lot of possession. But actually just finishing those games off and getting those goals. And also, I think, like Jennie says, the lack of crowd, I think, does make a difference. There are games like that Brighton game where that the crowd in the Academy Stadium would have been behind them and would have been like shouting and screaming and would have been really kind of trying to spur the team on. So not having the crowd there, I think, does make a difference in those kind of scenarios where you just need that little bit of an extra push from somewhere.
Yeah, and what the games I've been to, you can see the players feed off the crowd, you know, and are very appreciative of the noise you guys make. And you know, for 1,000 people, you are blooming noisy at the games. But I'll stay with you, Jayne. I just want to move on to the players from City that you think Everton need to be extremely wary of come Sunday.
I think kind of the game in midfield will be where the game can be won or lost. We've got a lot of top quality midfield players. Sam Lewis has come in and has been playing absolutely brilliantly. You know, having somebody like Keira Walsh in midfield where she just is like kind of the plug that tries to stop everything going past and can kind of just cut other people's attacks down. And then play these killer balls through to the forward. So I think kind of the midfield players are going to be really important.
What about you, Jennie? Anyone special to look out for?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously they know sort of the danger of Chloe Kelly. She's possibly, excuse me, my phone's ringing in here. Yeah, it's Chloe Kelly's possibly one, and then you've got the runs like from Demi Stokes. She can usually make a good run down that wing, and I would say Keira Walsh is definitely one that needs, you know, that is probably our strongest player at the moment. She's been the strongest player for me since obviously the start of the season. Sam Lewis, I mean, she's huge. There's not much more you can say about that. She looks big on the screen, so. But there again, everyone's big to me. So, yeah, I think it will be the midfield where it's sort of won and lost.
Yeah. Roll on to Peter then. Peter, which Everton players do you think or are you expecting to make the difference on Sunday?
Well, again, it's the midfield area, isn't it? Lucy Graham, for me, she's a big game player. Every time we play at one of the big stadiums, she seems to score. She scored at Anfield, the winner against that lot, which was amazing. She scored at Goodison in the quarter-final against Chelsea. She scored at Bristol as well. So she likes the big stadiums and she likes the big games. So yeah, Lucy Graham, I think, is someone that I haven't mentioned yet who would probably be a threat. And also Meg Finnegan. Keep an eye out for Meg because I've told her she needs to score because she hasn't scored yet this season. She was banging them in pre-season. I think she scored about 5 in 3 games in pre-season. She hasn't scored since I told her I expect one on Sunday.
You reckon Valerie Govan might start? Because I've been waiting for her to start. I mean, she's been banging goals in, but she's been coming off the bench. Do you reckon she might get a starting spot?
I think she has started a couple of games, but the thing about it is it depends on the type of system that Willie Kirk wants to play. I was saying the other day that Gorvan's more of a traditional sort of number 9, if you like, whereas when we play with McGill, Razzo, Sorensen, there's a lot more interchangeable positions, if you know what I mean. There's a lot more sort of movement, whereas Gorvan's of like very sort of dominant in the middle. You know, she's going to go for every header, and she, you know, you wouldn't necessarily say she's the quickest player. So it depends on the system that Willie Kirk wants to play, to be honest with you. Gorvan's one of those where as I say, you wouldn't say that she's blessed with pace, but because of her football brain, she's a yard ahead. Yeah. If you know what I mean, that anticipation, that little yard, that little drop of the shoulder gains her that extra yard, which is why she gets in these great positions. So it just depends on what system he wants to play. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't start with Valerie and brings it on with 20-25 minutes to go, just so the players with the running ability, or you know, the ones who are a bit quicker, can tire you all out first and then bring her on to finish the job. So yeah, we'll see what happens anyway. But either way, I think whether she starts or whether whether she comes off the bench, we have got that variation in formation and tactics that we can use, and we can, you know, hopefully get the win.
Right. Final thing for you guys is score prediction. So I'm going to start with Jennie. Get a score prediction from you, Jennie.
3-1 to City.
She gets it in there. 3-1. And Jayne?
I'm going 2-0 to City, my prediction. Sorry, Peter.
And what about you, Peter?
Well, I started the week off saying 2-1 to Everton, but then I've got a bit more confidence since then, so I'm going to say 2-0 to Everton. Because Dan Turner and Meg are, on form, on top form, and I've got to back them. So yeah, 2-0 Everton. Meg Finnegan to get at least one.
I'm gonna go 1-1 full time, and I'm guessing there's extra time, and City to win on penalties. How about that? Does that sound reasonable? Pray our nerves for a little bit longer. I'm gonna say, guys, whatever happens on Sunday, the main thing is the winners of the FA Cup will be wearing blue. And at least that's a good thing that I think we can all agree on rather than red. Gotta say, guys, we've been chatting for 36 minutes and it has flown by. It's been one of the most loveliest and liveliest previews we've done all season. So for that, I've got to say a big thanks to everybody. I'll start with my sidekick, Jennie. Jennie, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Very welcome, anytime.
Thank you so much. And Jayne, love to have you again some point later on in the season, Jayne. It's been a pleasure to have you on tonight.
Thank you very much. It's been very enjoyable.
And Peter, you're right, numbered 3-1. That might be the score on Sunday. Who knows? But Peter. It's been lovely to have you on tonight again. And you're so positive. Everything to do with Everton. I'm sure if we cut you, you bleed blue. So it's been lovely to have you on, mate.
It's been great to speak to you all again. I really enjoyed it last time. I've really enjoyed it this evening as well. So, I'll say I hope you all enjoy Sunday up until kickoff. And
on that, I'll let you have the final say there, Peter. Thanks everybody for coming on tonight, and let's just hope it's a really good game on Sunday.